not too dark. This is a video. Rush just came over right now. This is a video. I'm on the last season of Breaking Bad. This is season 5, episode 1. I have literally, I have run out of. I don't know why I'm screaming. Why am I screaming? Bring the voice down, and let's make this a pleasant experience for everyone. I don't know why I did that either. This is I've run out of ways to explain how good this series has been up to this point. I mean, I think there's been a few duds in there, but only because they were trying to. I guess they were trying to calm down a person's thought pattern. My best guess. So if somebody's watching something that's overly stimulating, they're going to be like, boom, 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 trying to snap. Trying to snap. They're going to be like, if I'm snapping, they're going to be like that. Their brain is going to be interacting with the stimulant, and it's going to make their brain like overclock, if that makes any sense. They're just going to go, woo, they're going to go crazy. So I'm assuming they would throw in an episode to kind of bring the tempo down or bring the frequency in which your thoughts are coming to your brain down a little bit. I know what I'm saying kind of doesn't make any sense, but it's just a break. All I'm trying to explain is they've taken a break from the story somewhat. Something not necessarily lighthearted, but something that you don't have to think about as much. There's a few episodes like that in this series. This isn't one of them. This episode is not one of them. Coming off that season finale from the 4th season, 5 just keeps that train moving right along on the excitement rail, I swear. So this episode, you're gonna have the wife, Mrs. White, Mr. White, you have Pinkman, you have Hank, you have Hank's partner, you have, by this time I should know the guy's name, but he's the hitman of Gustavo, well, formerly known as Gustavo. Well, I guess he would still be known as Gustavo, but the character's deceased now. But anyway, and then it gets even more, because it was the last thing I saw, so that's why I'm speaking on it first. What's his name? Saul. Saul is a pushover. He has the power of great position inside this series, but he's such a pushover. He gets pushed around by Mrs. White, by Mr. White, by Gustavo, by everybody. Pinkman, he seems to get pushed around a lot. Saul helped Mr. White poison that little kid in order to sway Pinkman's opinion of the situation, so Pinkman can help him get Gustavo. It's like a soap opera, man. Jesus, it's so good. It's so good, though. I don't know. What should I talk about first? I think I want to say Mr. White for like the middle, because he's kind of his character's, what's going on around him is kind of complicated. I guess I'll start off with Mrs. White and her lover. Now, a few episodes back in the last season, of course, we saw this guy enter himself into the Darwin Awards, almost anyway. He's trying to run away from these two guys who haven't really said or haven't really caused him any physical harm, but they're kind of intimidating. He runs, slips on the carpet, and breaks his neck. And you think, well, it's over. He's dead. He's still alive. And Mrs. White gets a chance to go visit him. Now, her acting wasn't all that good in this scene. She starts off shocked when she sees him first. She's kind of crying and trembling. And then as he starts speaking, she kind of like reverts to this badass. So I'm like, you can't just flip a switch like that. I mean, is it possible? Maybe. As far as her character's backstory, no. Because she's still kind of like walking on eggshells around Mr. White. And now Mr. White has entered into he's found his true form, his true badassness, if that's a word. I thought I had a gap. I don't think I had a gap, though. he's found his true toughness has come all the way out now, which I'm still like, I don't buy it. I mean, he's done a lot of like involuntary murder, I guess, but not well, he killed 2 people. I'll take that back. He's killed 2 people. He's killed 2 people like directly. I mean, by shooting them or stabbing them or choking them or something like that. Well, 3 people actually. I take that back. 3 people so far in the series, but he's killed Jesse's first girlfriend in the series, and he's killed Gustavo, his henchman, and the guy with the bill. Well, I mean, I guess he know what he signed up for, so he's killed those 3 guys. So what? He's getting close to 10. He's getting close to that 10 digits of people of murdering people. But yeah, this episode. So I was talking about. Yeah, that's the Mrs. White performance. That Mrs. White performance in that scene really didn't sell me on the emotions involved in it. But seeing him really made me feel a certain way because I mean they had him all done up. He has the chest plate. He has the halo to keep his neck from moving so it can heal properly. You know, all his hair is shaved off. I mean, he's got a scar on his head. I guess in order they had to take out a piece of the skull to stop the swelling on his brain. All type of stuff. I mean, he's in it bad. So that was pretty shocking. But the beginning of this episode, they done something again. They did it in a previous episode, but they made Mr. White seem pretty begrizzled. I guess if that's a word, if I'm using that word correctly. But my thing is, he does some kind of tracks action in a parking lot, and come to find out he's getting a M60, which is it's just a light machine gun, primarily used in the Vietnam conflict. I think they're still in use today, but I'm not 100%. But my thing that soured me on that as well is the fact that he kind of had like an unshaven beard, unkempt hair, and he had a military style jacket on, which was from the Vietnam era. I think a lot of vets would come back and have a similar jacket to that and look the way he looked. And I just don't see where they're going with that. And hopefully it makes sense in another episode, because they like I said, they've done this in a previous episode, and I don't even remember that scene coming back into play later on in the series. But maybe it'll come back into play as we go further down in the series. And I think I've said this for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm strongly considering watching 2 episodes in one day, but I think I may have to, because I've just realized something. I have probably been I've been uploading videos based on Breaking Bad for roughly a year now, and I think that's long enough as far as series is concerned. There's only a couple more days left in 2020, so I'm not gonna make any promises that I'll watch the remaining episodes in this season, but I'm going to speed it up. New year, new movies. I mean, oh wait, not new movies. Sorry, new year, new series. That's the way I feel about it. But this episode is pretty good. I haven't even touched on Mr. White in this episode. I think I'll do that. I talked about his wife. So Mr. White. So this one, I guess I could say Pinkman, Mr. White, and the head. I forget his name. The head henchman. I call him. I guess I could put all 3 of those guys together, because they basically were. So they're in a situation now. They've destroyed the majority of the evidence involving the murder of Gustavo and all these drugs and things of that nature. But there's a laptop with surveillance footage of all of them and everybody else that's involved in this in this cartel, so to speak. So now they have to destroy that evidence as well. So they come up with an idea to get a magnet from from a junkyard, put it in the back of a old U-Haul truck, go to the police station, basically breaking the gate, turn the magnet on to cause everything that is attracted to a magnet inside the evidence room to slam against the wall and destroy itself. And that is a great scene, because as you're looking inside the evidence room, and as every medical object is sliding across the room, it starts off with a paperclip though, it's a slow burn. But as everything's coming over that way, everything over there was involved in some type of murder or horrific crime. There's a tricycle running across there. There's like a hammer. All type of stuff is smacking against this wall. And all the file cabinets fall over. But the kicker is, there's a confiscated picture that came from the same office as the laptop. Now, behind the picture, it appears to be routing numbers for banks. That's how they're going to have a connection towards Mr. White and everybody else involved, because that's how he's paying people off. Oh my God, I cannot wait to see what happens with that. Is there anything else I should talk about? I probably forgot something, but hey.